And a few months ago, I saw government as being one thing. I lived in Auckland and studied in Auckland. I didn't know any friends or relatives within government, and I thought that it was one place where things happened that kept the country moving. And that view meant that I didn't realize that there was different agencies doing different things. And I think it's important to view that insight sometimes, that people outside the government necessarily don't see it the same way as we do. And that what they want is, they want things that serve them in the most efficient of ways. So, what are my perceptions now? It's big, it's complex, and it's quite siloed. And I think that this siloed government probably made sense a couple of decades ago. But for now, to operate from individual entities isn't necessarily the best way to serve citizens. But the people within government are really amazing. Everyone is very passionate about what they do. They're caring. And I think that the environment sometimes can restrain them. What does this all mean? It means that change is required. So I want to talk a bit about the psychology of change and how it affects the brain. So when you experience change, whether that's writing with the opposite hand or moving desk, it's actually rewiring your brain. Some of you will know this. You're actually going against the grain because you already have those pathways embedded that are so strong and you're so used to them that it's really uncomfortable to do that change. But it's important that you do, and the more that you do that, you'll get used to actually dealing with change and being able to handle it. And age and neuroplasticity is not an issue. People can change their brains. It used to be a view that as you get older, it becomes set and that's who you are, but that's not the case. So the things that hold us back. So bringing it back to my psychology, there's a type of thinking that I've noticed quite a lot in government since I've started working here. And that's black and white thinking. And it's where you perceive the world in distinct categories. And it's in our everyday language, so you're either happy or sad. It's either black or white. Instead of seeing solutions in that grey area, we're simply looking at these opposing categories. And that's where innovation lies, is in that point. What else holds us back? Well, I think we forget people quite a bit. I have an example. So my team that I'm working with at the moment, we tend to check in every day. And we spend a couple of minutes talking about our feelings and explore things outside of work. Now, in traditional ways of working, this would be frowned upon. You don't bring yourself to work. You don't talk about those feelings. You don't talk about what's happening at home. But what happens when you do that is you actually tend to dwell on it. It lingers over you during the day, and then you can't focus on your work. So I think it's important that we do start bringing ourselves to work. And I know Google conducted a study on what makes the most productive teams. Some of you will know this study. They found that psychological safety was the key component. And that's the ability to make mistakes around your team. It's the ability to feel like a fool sometimes, and they have your back. And to do that, you need to be a person, and you need to express yourself as a person so that we can come together as one and work towards common goals.